times. I think it's important.
And
Terry,
just
I've got a quick question for you, because what you've just shown is brilliant, by the way. Like, it's integrated into PayPal, Stripe, etc. Did Claude ask you for those APIs, or did Replit ask you for the API keys?
Replit did. And Replit has a lot of the APIs that I use are through Replit. They're Replit APIs. So I don't have to have separate APIs a lot of the time. This one, it was all done through Plod, which Plod is the security of everything, as far as who can access the app and use it and everything. But yeah, it's something that you definitely have to make sure that you do you need connections? You don't need connections, that type of thing. And then you always, every single project you do, you have to have a cost dashboard. Let me hold on real quick. I'm trying to find my image tool. I got all these open for you guys to look at.
On the image tool, is it using something like Nano Banana or Image 2.0 to actually physically create it, and you're giving it the prompts of what's needed?
Yeah, it actually I have a bunch of platforms in there that you can choose.
Yeah.
There it is. So here's my image tool. So and this is always based on, you have to track your API spends. You have to track how much you're spending for each individual thing. So when I go in and I generate an image with this tool, I can select which AI tool I want to use to generate the image. Just go down here to Saltair real quick. It'll bring up all Saltair. So it'll go down here, but I can choose. It's set default to Imagen 4.0, but I can use Nano Banana, Flux 2, Seedstream, and Encinogram, and it tells me how much each image costs. So Imagen, which is my favorite, cost me basically 8 cents an image, or 0.08 cents an image. But that's it's not a big deal. So, and the cool thing about it is that I got it set up to where I can do I can put a branded frame around it. Some people are into the branded frames, especially around local. Put all your freaking NAP, all that crap in there. Put the CTAs, I can watermark them. I can load up my client's images into here, and I can watermark them and use them the same way. I can do keywords plus template, or I can do a full prompt. I can generate social media images. I can do a compare between, if I want to compare models, if I got a new client, because it is really kind of dependent on the client base. So like some of my medical spas, Nano Banana 2 is way better than Flux Pro. So, and we'll do that for a new client, and then we'll put that default in that client system, so it comes up and does that every time. This is an image to image, so this is where I would upload a client image, and then I can do the same thing. I can brand it, put in the NAP, do all that different things. Blog clusters, since I write in clusters, we can now do images in clusters. So if I do 6 articles from Marty's tool, I can do 6 images from the prompts that Marty's tools gives me. But it really depends. But then I can go in and like I said, when you start doing the images for social media, I can do them all. I can do all the Facebook images. I can do all Instagram. I do this because I do a lot of paid ads. So I can do, Google images, YouTube images, all that stuff through here. So this is the very first tool I built for Saltair, because this was our bottleneck. This is where we had trouble. If client didn't give us images, we were typically going to deposit photo, finding an image, downloading it, putting it into Photoshop, adding a logo to it to brand it. And it was just, like I said, it was a bottleneck in our processes. So
is that open to the general public, or is it just for internal use?
Yeah, it's part of my university, and it's internal. But there's some things I am going to probably start to monetize. This is kind of one of them, but there's so many people are building images just in ChatGPT now. So I don't know the viability of monetizing something like this, but for an agency, it's freaking rocks, because, you can really do a lot of good shit with this thing, which is also what we do with the images. So, But I can put it. I can also do videos, and the videos were kind of Skylar, my son, is working on that now. So hopefully the videos will be fine tuned by next year, or excuse me, next week or something when he gets back from Costa Rica. I also do dark and light views on every single app because people like to have different type of views. I like dark. Some people like white, that type of thing. So anyway, so let me show you guys what happened here with this. So this is the tool I built with Marty's book. Okay, so it's a displacement readiness audit. So basically, it's going to take the Masterminders brand and look at who else are your competitors for conferences in the UK. Okay, so it comes up and it gives scores, the binding, loosely bound, all that stuff. I'll show you that here in a second. The competitor map, Brighton SEO, and the tool pulled these in. I didn't tell it who to pull in. So it went out and it looked for different things. Why is this white? I got to fix that. So anyway, so Brighton SEO, OMR Festival, and then DMXCO, one of Europe's leading digital marketing trade shows and comprehensive program covering all digital marketing positions. So, but the way these things are, so you position it and then you deposition them. So the depositioning angle for Brighton SEO is its theory heavy conference model versus open focused revenue strategies. So Masterminders is more intimate. It's more getting into what's happening today, to where you guys have been to Brighton. I've been to Brighton. Brighton's very everything. So, it's kind of taking those things out. And then it gets into queries that we would eventually ask. These are queries that we would do after we do the first phase, just to see if we're showing up in the AI overviews. Then it has the first 5 pieces of content we're going to write. Okay, so this content is designed to position Masterminders and deposition the competitors without actually saying their name. So we're going to write about why is Masterminders better than Brighton SEO, but we're not going to mention Brighton SEO as the target. So 5 questions every marketing executive should ask before choosing their next conference investment is one of the articles. Why marketing conferences are failing to deliver in 2026, AI search ranking strategies, and what to look for instead. This is the tool did this. I didn't put any of this shit in. I just put in your website and it just freaking scraped. So anyway, so we're going to download this. I'll show you this real quick.
What does the 95% mean in the top right?
I'll show you that. So 95% of the target market is invisible to your current marketing. So what that means is that the Masterminder operates in a very high binding marketing conference market. It's all up here, where 95 to 96% of prospects are currently bound to established competitors like Brighton, OMR, or DMXCO. I guess that's how you say it, or DMXCO. The primary opportunity lies in targeting the 26 to 32% loosely bound attendees. So everybody is stuck in a binding. So binding means there's 4 processes. This is Marty's system. So everybody that's getting ready to purchase is in one of 4 states. They're either unbound, so they're actually searching, going to Google, checking out Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. They're loosely bound, 26 to 32%, has a provider but softening. Maybe they've been to Brighton 2 or 3 times and they're just tired of it. It's the same old thing every year. It's blah, blah, blah. So these are typically the 2 markets that this system is telling us to go after. And then you have the strongly bound people. These are people deeply loyal to your competitor. So there are people that will always go to every single SEO Rockstars. They'll go to every single spring training. They'll go to every single Brighton. You guys probably have people that have been to every single Masterminders. And then you have people that are crisis bound. This isn't real big in the conference world. If it would be more like, medical spas, contracts, anything like that. So they're unhappy, but they feel trapped. Now, I don't know if that's in the conference world. I don't know anybody that feels trapped by going to Brighton. That, doesn't make sense to me, but this is the 4 different binding stages. So, and then we take this tool, the phase 1 content. It also has phase 2 priorities. So, I didn't know if you guys had a GBP for Masterminders. I keep getting suspended for spring trainings because it's at my mom's house. I also had a 90-day roadmap, so I have actually sold, I've sold 2 clients on this entire system. And so we're working through the 90-day roadmap, all the different things that we're doing. But now we take this thing, this is where it gets really freaking cool. This is my content tool. All right. So in my content tool, this thing is so freaking crazy. In my content tool, I have CDS audits. So this is where a CDS audit would come in, and then I'd upload this file here. Oops, make me sign it. Good. That's what it was supposed to be. All right, so I'm gonna go down here to CDS audits. I'm gonna pick CDS audits. I'm gonna upload this system. Right there. There's the 5 articles that it's gonna write. I can choose Gemini. I like Sonic, but I like Claude Sonic better. But I can choose Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude. And I'll generate all 5 articles. So this thing will just take a few minutes to do it. But the cool thing about the displacement readiness is I can even do this on a local level. So I can say, okay, so Phoenix Web Design. Here's my Phoenix Web Design page. My keyword is Phoenix Web Design. Go out and find my displacement readiness audit for that keyword, because obviously I'm going to have different competitors for web design than I'm going to have for SEO compared to email marketing. So whatever. So when you look at these different things and have it done, it really gets into some pretty cool things. So sales view. So this is, this system's pretty good as far as, I don't show people this as far as clients. But it gives me a little bit of different sales view. I can use it as a sales tool if I want, but I actually built this one, which is different. So I built a prospect tool. So this prospect tool, let's see, I won that one. Which one do I want to do? View audit. Okay, so this is a little bit different because this will come out once I do it as a sales tool. It'll even come out and build me a PowerPoint presentation. This is one of the clients I sold. So, so it builds me the PowerPoint presentation that I do the presentation on with the client. But it goes through everything that's everything that came up with the audit is all in here. So this Stapleton Roofing Company, Diversified Roofing, Sunvex, and Renco are their competitors. It tells them their binding scores, all the different things, the methodology, the 90% problem, the movers, the mirror principle, the phase 1 versus phase 2, findings dashboard, all the different things it found, the displacement, here's how we're going to deposition Diversified, Sunvec, and Renco, what to do in priority order, 90-day roadmap, and then my cost. So I sold this for $4,800.
Is this open to the general public, or is this another one private?
It's getting ready to be. So this one we are going to monetize just because there's so many people. I showed this at spring training, and I did about 20 free audits plus content, and people are just going crazy over it. So yes, this one will be monetized. I'm working with Marty right now to figure out how that all looks and all that good stuff. But it's pretty crazy. So
Terry, just a quick one. Going back to your content generation, how come you're using Sonnet 4.6? Was it? How come you're using that? Is it just from a cost point of view? Or...
No, not really. And I'm going to put the updated stuff in here. Sonnet 4.6 has always been my favorite content tool out of all of them that I've tried.
Right. Okay.
And so I'm sure there's, the other ones that are good. I am going to put Opus in here. Like I said, Opus 4.0, 4.8 though, I'm not real big fan of. I give it a couple weeks and let it kind of work out its bugs. I like the idea that it's built more on facts and fact checking, because that's also something that I put into all my tools to get rid of the hallucinations, so to speak, and just double check it. So, well, here's one of the articles. So I've people that have seen me speak and seen me teach content, I'm a big believer in key summaries at the top of every page, because that way, especially the AI overviews, don't have to read the whole page to get what it wants out of there. So we do the key takeaways. Here's the blog itself, about 1,500 words. Then I get every blog has FAQs. Then I have FAQ schema built automatically. And then I have the article schema built automatically with my schema, not everybody's junk schema. I have the image prompts and the image descriptions. now I can take this prompt. This is where it gets really freaking cool. I can take this prompt and now go back to my image tool. Come on, baby. I like it dark because I like dark. Thank you. Generate. And I will select a client. Doesn't really matter. I'll do Solterra. No, I don't want to do swing training. Okay, do that one. And I'll use Imogen. I'll put in the prompt. I'll name it. What are we going to name this sucker here? Come on, baby. I can also download all 5 of these and load all 5 of these prompts into the image tool at once. But I'm just doing it manual here. So I want a title. I'm going to do the branded frame. I want the CTA. Do the branded frame small. Make the font size smaller. And I'll do a short label here. Do photorealistic. And I'm just going to put generate. So it'll just take a second to generate here. But so now this image will go obviously with that blog post because it's built with that type of prompt system.
That's cool. Well, Terry, it's been an absolute pleasure in having you. I think we need to do a follow. I think we need to get you on a follow-on. I've got so many more questions to ask, but I think we need to get you on another podcast.
And there's the image you created.
Wow,
get your free audit. So, yeah, no, totally. I mean, like I said, this stuff. This is like my new passion. So, I don't do this just to do it. I do it to either help one of my clients, help one of my companies. I've got people contacting me all the time with their ideas. I did an email marketing blast yesterday to my 5,000 people, and I already got 2 freaking software developments just yesterday. So,
and with regards to your university, how can someone get into that university?
I'm getting ready to do a full launch July 1st. So a relaunch. So at my university's always been SEOuniversity.net. But I've completely revamped it to everything that is going on in today's world. So right now,
what we'll do is we'll have a link to that. So if anyone wants to join, they can do as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, because this is a full-blown marketing university. It does everything, even gets into Reddit and freaking TikTok. It does every freaking thing. So, this is all the stuff that I've been teaching for years. So,
all right.
Well, Terry, it's been an absolute pleasure. And it's going to
be good.
So, see you later. See you later, Casper. Terry,
right,
mate.
Guys. Just reach out. Let me know if you need anything else. I'm happy to hear and happy to help you guys and show you.
I want to get you on mine.